You see it every day. The genius who gets fired, the honest man who gets tricked, the hard worker who is passed over for a promotion. They lose because they rely on academic intelligence, IQ, while their enemies use dark intelligence, strategy. IQ is how you solve a math problem. Dark intelligence is how you win the game of life. To be dangerously smart means two things: being impossible to fool and being impossible to predict. But a warning, the psychological tools we are about to reveal are weapons. We teach them for defense, not destruction. Do not use this knowledge to become the villain. Use it to survive the game. Quick check. If you refuse to be a victim ever again, like this video right now. Let the algorithm know you are awake. Today, Niccolò Machiavelli will teach you the art of the fox, how to play dumb, hide your intentions, and weaponize information. Marcus Aurelius will teach you the art of the owl, how to strip away illusions, control your impulses, and see the naked truth. If you are ready to leave the herd and think for yourself, subscribe now. Join the few who actually understand the game. Welcome to the debate. Make you dangerously smart.
Let us begin with the fatal error of the so-called smart man. It is his vanity. He walks into a room and immediately wants to prove his intellect. He corrects people. He speaks first. He uses big words to show his education. This is suicide, Marcus. Pure suicide. When you display your intelligence too brightly, you do not gain respect. You gain targets. You make others envious. You make them guarded. The moment they realize you are smart, they stop talking. They put up their shields. To be dangerously smart, you must master tactical incompetence. You must learn to play the fool. When you act slightly less intelligent than you actually are, a magical thing happens. People relax. They get arrogant. They think they are superior to you. And because they feel safe, they open their mouths. They reveal their secrets, their plans, their hidden resentments. The smartest man in the room is the one who listens, nods, and lets the idiots think they are leading. While they are busy inflating their egos, I am gathering the ammunition to destroy them.
You describe a life lived in the shadows, Niccolò. You advocate for wearing a mask of stupidity to manipulate the vain. I agree that the desire to appear smart is a weakness. It is a craving for applause. A man who needs to prove his intelligence is a man who doubts it. However, your tactical incompetence is still a performance. You are still dancing to their tune, just in reverse. True intelligence is not about tricking others into revealing themselves. It is about radical objectivity. Most men do not see the world. They see their own projections. They see what they fear or what they desire. To be dangerously smart is to look at a situation or a person stripped of all emotion and pretense. I do not need to play dumb. I simply need to be silent and observant. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. When you strip away your own ego, you become a clear mirror. You do not need to trick them. People are desperate to be seen. If you just look at them without judgment, without trying to impress them, they will show you exactly who they are.
Observing is passive. Winning is active. You watch the game. I control the outcome. Information is not just something to be observed, Emperor. It is something to be restricted. We must teach them the law of calculated opacity. The average man is an open book. He meets a stranger and tells him his life story, his financial troubles, and his future plans. He thinks he is building rapport. In reality, he is handing over the keys to his castle. If I know what you want, I can bribe you. If I know what you fear, I can threaten you. If I know your plans, I can block you. To be dangerous, you must be a black box. Input goes in, but no one knows what happens inside until the output comes out. When people ask, "What are you up to?" you give a vague answer. "I have matters to attend to." Never reveal the full extent of your capabilities. Never reveal the endgame until the piece is already in checkmate. When you are unpredictable, people fear you. They hesitate to cross you because they don't know what you are packing. Predictability is the leash they use to control you.
Unpredictability creates chaos. Consistency creates authority. You hide your plans because your plans are likely wicked. A man with nothing to hide is a man who cannot be blackmailed. My intelligence is dangerous because it is uncorruptible.
You see, Niccolò, when you spend your life building a labyrinth of lies and half-truths, you eventually get lost in it yourself. You become paranoid. You think everyone is like you, a liar.
My strategy is the straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is the truth. While you are exhausted trying to remember which version of the story you told to whom, I am resting in the certainty of reality. You say predictability is a weakness. I say it is a strength. If what is predicted is unshakable strength, if my enemies know that Marcus Aurelius cannot be bribed, cannot be scared, and will never break his word, that is not a weakness. That is a terrifying obstacle. They know they cannot play games with me because I do not enter the casino. Clarity is speed, and speed is power.
I do not enter the casino. How noble! But the world is a casino, Marcus. Whether you bet or not, the wheel is spinning, and the dealer cheats. You speak of truth as a shield, but in a world of liars, the honest man is not a terrifying obstacle. He is a lamb. Let's talk about the false trail. It is not enough to just hide your intentions. Sometimes you must mislead. If I want to attack the East, I make a lot of noise in the West. I plant a false rumor. I let them think I am weak where I am strong, and strong where I am weak. This is disinformation. The dangerously smart man knows that people believe what they want to believe. If I feed their confirmation bias, they will swallow the lie whole. You call it dishonest. I call it efficient. Why fight a bloody battle when I can win by sending the enemy to the wrong battlefield? Intelligence is the art of conserving energy. Deception costs less than war.
Deception costs less gold, perhaps, but it costs you your soul. And practically speaking, it destroys your greatest asset, reputation. You might fool them once with your false trail, maybe twice. But the third time, when they realize you are a deceiver, your words become wind. No one will ally with you. No one will save you. You become isolation. And isolation is death. The dangerously smart man builds a reputation so solid that his word is treated as law. The power of reality. I do not need to send them to the wrong battlefield. I simply prepare so well that it does not matter which battlefield they choose. Your dark intelligence relies on the stupidity of others. My intelligence relies on my own preparation.
Dig deep within yourself, for there is a fountain of goodness ever ready to flow if you will keep digging.
You are playing a finite game, trying to win the round. I am playing an infinite game, trying to build a legacy. While you are busy planting fake rumors, I am sharpening my sword. And when we finally meet, your lies will not stop my steel.
Legacy is for the dead. Victory is for the living. But I will concede one thing. To lie effectively, one must have a reputation for truth. Use your honesty, Marcus. It makes a wonderful cover for the dagger. But for the student listening to us, choose. Will you be the open book, read and discarded by everyone? Or will you be the cipher, the puzzle that no one can solve?
Be neither. Be the mountain, visible to all, hiding nothing, yet impossible to move. Let them break their heads against your reality.
Clarity is useless if you are emotional. And this is where I destroy the average man. The average man thinks with his heart, not his head. He is easily provoked. If I want to destroy an enemy, I do not attack his walls. I attack his ego. I insult him publicly. I threaten what he loves. Why? Because anger makes you stupid. When a man is angry, he reveals his hand. He makes mistakes. He overreacts. To be dangerously smart, you must learn the art of provocation. Find out what makes a man emotional and press that button. Then sit back and watch him destroy himself. And while he is raging, you remain ice cold. The winner is always the one who cares less.
On this, we find common ground, though your method is malicious. Anger is indeed temporary madness, but you teach them to provoke. I teach them to be unprovocable. This is the ultimate defense. Imagine a man trying to set fire to a lake. He runs around with his torch, screaming, throwing sparks. The lake does nothing. The sparks simply hiss and vanish in the water. Be the lake. When someone tries to provoke you, realize that it is a trap. The pause of reason. Between the stimulus, the insult, and the response, your anger, there is a gap. In that gap lies your intelligence. If you react instantly, you are an animal. If you pause, evaluate, and choose not to react, you are a god among men. You say the winner is the one who cares less. I say the winner is the one who cannot be controlled by external events. If you can make me angry, you own me, and I belong to no one.
Belong to no one. A nice sentiment. But we are social animals. We play emotional games whether you like it or not. Let's talk about the mirror. If you want to be smart, stop trying to convince people with logic. People hate logic. It makes them feel dumb. Convince them with their own emotions. Mirror their body language. Mirror their values. If they are angry, validate their anger. If they are sad, validate their sadness. When you become a mirror, they fall in love with you. They trust you. And once they trust you, the gate is open. A dangerous mind knows that trust is a weapon. You gain entry, you plant your idea, and you make them think it was their idea. Logic is a hammer. Emotion is a key.
You describe manipulation. I describe empathy. The tools look similar, but the intent changes everything. To mirror someone to trick them is vile. To understand someone to help them is wisdom. But I warn you, the mirror has a crack. If you spend your life pretending to be what others want, you forget who you are. You become a hollow shell, and hollow things shatter easily. My intelligence comes from detachment. I can understand your emotion without being infected by it. I can stand in the middle of a riot and remain calm. This scares people more than your manipulation, Niccolò. When everyone is panicking and one man is perfectly calm, everyone looks to that man for leadership. Hysteria is contagious, but so is calm. Be the carrier of sanity.
Sanity is slow. Panic is fast. And sometimes you need panic to move the herd. You speak of leadership, but leadership requires leverage. If I cannot charm them with the mirror, I must bind them with fear. A man who is afraid does not ask questions. He obeys. The dangerously smart man knows how to inject a small dose of fear into the conversation. A pause that lasts too long. A look that is too sharp. A reminder of what they stand to lose. Fear clears the mind of distractions. It focuses them on you.
Fear does not clear the mind, it paralyzes it. You are creating slaves, not allies. And slaves revolt. A man ruled by fear is waiting for the moment you turn your back so he can stab it. True power is when they follow you because they trust your judgment, not because they fear your whip. You rely on their weakness. I rely on my strength.
Rely what you wish, but remember, men are ungrateful, fickle, pretenders, avoiders of danger, and greedy for gain. If you treat them as if they are noble, you will be destroyed. If you treat them as they are, you will rule them. I treat them as if they could be noble, and in doing so, I give them a chance. And if they do not rise, I remain the lake, unburned. Sanity does not win wars, Marcus. Adaptability wins wars. The world changes every second. Fortune is a violent river that floods, changes course, and destroys those who stand still. The smart man, the academic man, has rigid principles. He says, I will never do X, or I always tell the truth. He is proud of his consistency. I tell you, this consistency is a chain around his neck. The dangerously smart man says, I will do whatever is necessary. He has no fixed shape. He is the shapeshifter. If the situation demands a lion, be a lion. Roar, threaten, use force. If the situation demands a fox, be a fox. Hide, trap, use cunning. If the situation demands a saint, play the saint. Pray louder than the priest. It is necessary for a prince to learn how not to be good, and to use this knowledge or not use it according to the necessity of the case. If you are predictable, I can trap you. If I know you will always tell the truth, I can use your honesty against you. If I know you will always be compassionate, I can exploit your mercy. But if you change your form, if you are water, I cannot catch you. Be fluid, flow around the obstacle, or crash through it, but never, ever be static.
You call it adaptability. I call it a lack of character. If you change your face for every room you enter, you have no face. You are a mirror reflecting the vices of whoever stands before you. You say that consistency is a chain. I say it is an anchor. In a storm, the ship without an anchor is lost. The ship with an anchor survives. The dangerous man is not the one who changes with the wind. It is the one who stands still when the whole world shakes. My strategy is the straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. The shortest path to power is truth. Think of the energy you waste, Niccolò. You are weaving complex webs, tracking your lies, calculating which mask to wear. You are exhausted. While you are navigating a labyrinth of your own making, I am walking straight. Yes, I might hit obstacles. Yes, I might offend people, but I will smash through them with the force of my momentum. People trust the straight line. They fear the shapeshifter. And in the long run, trust is a currency more valuable than gold. You might win the battle with a trick, but you will lose the war, because when you fall, no one will stand beside you. They will not know who you are.
Trust? Trust is a fairy tale for children. We are not looking for friends, Marcus. We are looking for victory. You speak of the long game, but there is no long game if you do not survive the short game. Trust is good, but leverage is better. Here is the final lesson in dark intelligence. Assume the worst. The naive man assumes people are good. He assumes that if he is kind, they will be kind. He gets destroyed. The smart man assumes everyone has a price, everyone has a secret, and everyone is driven by self-interest. Do not rely on their goodness. Rely on their greed. If you want someone to help you, do not appeal to their mercy or their gratitude. Gratitude is a burden. Appeal to their self-interest. Find out what they want: money, status, revenge, safety, and hold it in front of them. Show them that helping you is the only way to get what they desire. When you bind a man with his own greed, he is loyal, not because he loves you, but because he loves himself. That is a bond that never breaks. That is not cynical, Marcus. That is seeing the mechanics of the world with eyes wide open.
Seeing the worst in everyone is a form of blindness. It blinds you to potential. It blinds you to the few who are good. And by treating everyone like a beast, you turn them into beasts. But I accept the premise of preparation. The Stoic does not live in a fantasy. We have a practice, premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. I expect treachery. I expect the lie. I expect the betrayal. But here is the twist, Niccolò. Do not let it surprise you, and do not let it corrupt you. The fool is shocked when a liar lies. He cries, "How could he do this?" The smart man expects it. When you expect the worst, you are never disappointed, only prepared. But, and this is where we differ, I keep my own hands clean. If I use their greed, I become a merchant of greed. If I use their fear, I become a tyrant. Be the only man in the room who does not have a price. Be the anomaly. That makes you dangerous, because money cannot buy you, fear cannot bind you, and lust cannot distract you. You are free. And a free man is the most dangerous force on earth, because he cannot be controlled.
Free. You keep using that word, but you are bound by your own rules. You are a slave to your virtue. If your enemy fights dirty and you fight clean, you lose. It is simple mathematics. Imagine a duel. I have a sword, a hidden dagger, and pocket sand. You have only a sword and your honor. I throw sand in your eyes. I stab you with the dagger. You die with your honor intact. I live to rule the empire. Who is the smarter man? History is written by the victors, Marcus, not the virtuous. To be dangerously smart, you must be willing to do what the other man will not do. You must find the line that others are afraid to cross, and you must cross it with a smile. This is the unfair advantage. Most people stop at the edge of morality. If you step past it, you find a land with no competition. I am not saying be evil. I am saying be effective. If the result requires poison, use poison. If it requires a handshake, use a handshake. The tool does not matter. The outcome matters.
And what is the outcome? A crown on a rotting head. You win the duel, yes, but you lose the ability to sleep. You lose the ability to look in the mirror. You say the tool does not matter. I say the tool shapes the hand that holds it. If you use poison, you become poisonous. You ask who is the smarter man in your duel? The man who dies with honor leaves a legacy that inspires 1,000 others to be brave. The man who throws sand is remembered as a coward, even if he wears the crown. True strategy is not just about this life, Niccolò. It is about the echo you leave in eternity. But let us bring this down to earth. You speak of leverage. The ultimate leverage is autonomy. You need people to be greedy so you can manipulate them. You need them to be fearful. You are dependent on their vices. I need nothing. If they are greedy, I ignore them. If they are treacherous, I avoid them. If they attack, I defend. My strategy is the fortress. I build a life so solid, a mind so disciplined, that no matter what you throw at me, sand, daggers, lies, it bounces off. You are playing offense, trying to conquer the world. I am playing defense, conquering myself. And the man who conquers himself is greater than the man who conquers a city.
Greater in heaven, perhaps, but on earth the conqueror takes the spoils. Listen to us, student. You stand at the crossroads. To my left, the path of the fox. It is dark, it is winding, it is lonely, but it leads to power. You will see things others do not see. You will pull strings others do not know exist. You will win. To my right, the path of the rock. It is straight, it is hard, it is bright. It leads to peace. You will suffer, but you will not break. You will be admired, but you might be martyred. Which intelligence do you choose? The one that controls the world, or the one that transcends it?
Do not let him fool you into thinking you must be a villain to be smart. You can be sharp without being cruel. You can be prepared without being paranoid. Master yourself and the world does not matter. Be smart enough to know when you are being played, but be wise enough not to play their game. Be the rock that breaks the waves. And if you must fight, fight with the terrifying clarity of a man who has nothing to hide.
A lovely sentiment, but remember, the rock eventually turns to sand. The wave keeps moving. Be the wave.
Be the rock.
The debate is over. You have received the download. To be dangerously smart is not to choose one side, but to integrate both. You need the eyes of Machiavelli to observe the hidden motives, to practice calculated opacity, and to understand that the world is driven by self-interest. Never be naive. But you need the soul of Marcus Aurelius to keep your own emotions under lock and key, to remain unprovocable, to see the naked truth behind the story, and to maintain a core of character that cannot be bought. The synthesis. Play the game with the cunning of a devil, but keep the internal peace of a monk. Know how to manipulate, so you can never be manipulated. Know how to hurt, so you can choose to heal. Call to action. If you are ready to sharpen your mind into a weapon, subscribe to the channel. We are building a network of strategic minds. Seal your commitment in the comments below. Write, "I see the truth," if you choose the path of clarity. Or, "I play the game," if you choose the path of strategy.